Tax season is almost here, and everyone needs to be aware of possible changes to the tax code. Tax expert Richard Gartland, he has some great advice on taking the necessary precautions. So, Richard, a lot of changes this year to the tax code due to the Affordable Care Act. What's the most important thing we should be aware of right now?
You know, you're right. The Affordable Care Act is the single biggest change to the tax code in 20 years. So the most important thing for people to know is whether this year, whether their tax return will be affected by the results of the Affordable Care Act. That's why H&R Block is opening its doors on January 8th. Every office will be open from 9 in the morning until 9 at night. We're doing a free ACA Q&A day, and we're inviting people to come in and sit down with one of our ACA tax specialists. What they'll leave with is a personalized ACA tax impact analysis, which will help them understand how their taxes may be affected this year.
Now, what kinds of changes are we going to be seeing to the tax forms we file, and how is the refund going to be calculated?
There are two main groups that we expect that are more likely to be affected. The first group are people who received coverage through one of the marketplace venues, that's either the federal or the state side, and received this advanced premium tax credit. So those folks are going to have to file a form which will reconcile the credit they received against their actual 2014 household income. The second group are people who did not have coverage during 2014. They're facing penalties for not having coverage that year, and those will be collected via the tax return as well. There is a bit of good news. There are quite a few exemptions out there that are available to help people either reduce and or eliminate the penalties altogether. And we're here to help them understand how those work and find the best outcome for them.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the advanced premium tax credit?
So the advanced premium tax credit was designed to lower a person's out-of-pocket expenses. This was an amount that was calculated based on their estimated earnings for 2014, and it was paid directly to the insurer. So people may not be aware because they didn't get a check in the mail. However, now that 2014 is closed, we're looking at reconciling this amount against their actual income for 2014. In some cases, that may result in a payback of premium that they received, credit they received. In other cases, it may actually result in additional credit to be claimed on the tax return.
And then there's the tax penalty and exemptions. Tell us more about those.
You know, the penalty, I think the number that's stuck in everybody's head for 2015 is $95. That's only the beginning of the story. $95 is the minimum penalty for a single person. That minimum can be $285 for a family, depending on the number in the household. But again, that's a minimum. So it is the greater of that amount or 1% of something called modified adjusted gross income. Frankly, it's a fairly complex computation that goes on through there, and that's why we're here to help people understand how this works and how this may be affecting their tax return. On the exemption side, there are about 30 exemptions out there, some of which can be claimed directly on the tax return, others which have to be claimed through the marketplace. And we're here to help people understand which of those they may qualify. In fact, they may qualify for multiple exemptions, some of which might cover certain amounts and another a full amount, getting them down hopefully to zero. So it's, again, it's something of a maze, and we're here, our experts are here to help people understand how they can benefit from those exemptions.
What about those of us preparing our own taxes, trying to save a dime or two?
Well, to people who are planning to prepare their own taxes, I'd say come on in and see us on January 8th anyway. This way you'll walk away with an understanding. Again, that's a free event, so there's no charge for it. That way, when they do go to prepare their own taxes, they'll have a better understanding of what they may be facing and what forms they may have to include in their workflow. For those folks who do their taxes using our do-it-yourself product, at the time they're preparing the taxes, they will have access to expert advice through either chat or email or via telephone. So those will all be available when they're actually preparing the forms.
Where can people get more information?
There's lots of information available on our website. We have a page that's dedicated to Affordable Care Act issues. That address is hrblock.com/ACA tax impact. And for people who want to find an office, they can either go to our general website, hrblock.com, or call our 800 number, 1-800-HR-BLOCK. We really encourage people to take advantage of this free event on January 8th. Again, that's from 9 in the morning till 9 at night. It's totally free, and it's going to be tailored to your personal situation.
Richard, thank you so much. You may need to make changes to your taxes this year as a result of the Affordable Care Act. If you want more information on how this might affect you, check out hrblock.com or call that phone number listed on your screen. Dow?